fans from wherever you are, from whatever rocks you crawl under, from whatever mountains you call down from, welcome to MPJ, new rock album review show with me and my gang, with Chris, with Lauren, with Paul, with Trish, and with Andy. Welcome, gang.
Hi.
Hello.
So, we review all the latest rock albums, rate them out of 5, see if they get into a Hall of Fame. Maybe even if you just missed, if you just watched the latest episode of The Amazons, get into our legendary status, who knows. Today, we have an offering from a band called Maestrick and their album Espresso Della Vita Lunare. I think I did quite well pronouncing that for a change.
Well done, yeah.
Thank you very much. I'll take a bow.
At least you didn't say espresso. That would be...
No, oh yeah, I did have to double check that just before actually. No, it's not espresso. It's But was it an espresso, Paul? Did you take a drink of this and go, whoa, yeah, wake up? What did you think of Maestrick?
Problem with an epic opus such as, I'll say the English version, Essence of Life Lunar, is that there are musical moments of the sublime and the ridiculous surreal, with the question being, do you want to listen to it again? This is an operatic symphonic metal album that once listened to doesn't have an easily identifiable theme or concept running through. Not one for me that was obvious or engaging enough to want to flip the repeat listen to. An enjoyable first listen. Thereafter, there are just too many opportunities to skip certain tracks, and the 18-minute final track, The Last Station, well, to put it bluntly, I missed the train.
Oh, Andy, did you miss the train, or did you keep punching that ticket?
Well, the annoying thing about this is I actually started listening to the wrong album, which was fun, because this is the second Espresso Con, whatever it is. No, I did it for like about a minute or two, and I realised my mistake. It's just like, why did 2 albums with 12 tracks on, which is like 80 minutes, and call it the same thing? The first one was called Solare, which is obviously day, and this one's Lunare, which is night. So it's 12 hours of daylight and then 12 hours of nighttime, something like that. I was going to say the same as Paul. It's like I don't think I'm going to listen to this one probably more than once or maybe twice, kind of thing. It is quite a long progressive symphonic metal song. It starts off sounding like a mixture between The Wall, a Tim Burton movie, and a West End musical. Sort of starts off like that. And the point about, I'm quite forgiving on albums like this to a degree, because they are interesting listening to. I do enjoy the experience, but for me that is more what it is. It's like more of an experience. It's not something which I would want to do again and again and again and go into it again and again. So I did enjoy it sonically. The musicianship is great in it, but you have to be at the right place, right time, do it, and then I think that's me done.
Somebody who's never done. Lauren.
Hello. So, yeah. Having listened to this album, it's one of those things where I agree with Andy on a lot of the points that he's made. Like, ultimately, listening to it the first time around, I was like, oh, okay, like, it's got things that go for it, it's got some interesting layers and things like that. And having not listened to their stuff before, it's almost like watching a really good, like, horror suspense film. Like, when you first see it, you don't know what's going to happen, so you're interested to see where it goes. But then, once you've seen it, you know it. And because there wasn't much else to it, it didn't then entice me to go back and listen again and look out for little bits that I may have missed the first time round. I feel like I've heard stuff like this before, so it just doesn't stand out. Like, yes, it's theatrical in places, which is normally something I really enjoy, but this was just done in a way that I didn't enjoy it a huge amount. I think as well, because of some of the albums and artists that we've listened to before, I feel like I've just heard this style of music done and done better. So like in the form of like Dragon Knight and stuff like that, where yes, again, still it's not like top tier what I would listen to, but in the grand scheme of things, it does this sort of stuff with a little bit more of the things I enjoy and a little bit better. It was okay though. I can see where it's got its place in the market. I know people who would listen to this and love it and cane the living daylights out of it. Just for me though, it just wasn't that. And coming off the back of listening to the Amazons that just totally engulfed me and stuff that I love, it was just really night and day for me. So yeah, it's okay. I can see why it's there. I can see why it'd be enjoyed. It's just not in my wheelhouse of what I would listen to.
Chris?
I've got to echo everything that has already been said. I think the one line note that I made when I first listened to this album was uncompelling. I didn't feel gripped by it at all. I mean, it's on paper, it's got a lot of the stuff that I would usually like. There's operatic metal, there's heavy rock in there. There's some prog which sometimes does and sometimes doesn't do it for me. But this just felt thoroughly overdone in a lot of places. So because I occasionally do the maths on this sort of stuff, there's 12 tracks on the album. The average track length is almost 7 minutes, and there are only 3 tracks that are more than 7 minutes long. That's the sort of the 18-minute closing track was a bit much. The 12-minute middle track was also a bit much, and it's just I haven't even written down the names of those tracks because I'm that uncompelled to even mention them. But they are just long, and it didn't grip me at all. There is some albums that there are some tracks especially where you do that sort of anthemic symphonic rap and it just grabs you and says, right, you're coming with us, and you enjoy it. This didn't grab. I didn't really enjoy it either, but you can listen to it. The music, the way they play, they are very good at what they do. It is off the charts in terms of the production they've put into it and the amount of time and effort that they've obviously put into crafting a record. But it just didn't really work for me. And I felt, as I say, I stand by my first note that I made, which is that I was thoroughly uncompelled on this one.
Trish, can we inject some positivity here?
So, as soon as the opening track started, I thought I was in Disney World. It had that theme to it, and right in the middle it cuts off, and hell yeah, the rock music hits, but with a twist of symphonic orchestral tones. It's a progressive power metal album done really well, especially when I noticed on the track Boo, which has the legend lead singer Tom S. England from a band I love and am seeing later in the year, Evergrey. So yes, to get this vocalist collab on one of your tracks, you get an extra mark for that and are winning me over. I absolutely love the track Ghost Casino. It transports you to another world with clever use of synthesizer in the middle with the guitars. My only negative for this album is its length. It's too long to keep you engaged for that amount of time. Apart from that, this album is theatrical, dramatic, fun and atmospheric musically and vocally. It brought me much enjoyable listening for its genre. Great job.
Now, the good thing about this album is the first 4 tracks, and track number 4 is Ghost Casino, which is absolutely brilliant. It brings everything. There's a bit of synth, there's a bit of operatic bands, there's a little bit of everything in there, in this cacophony of sound, which makes it incredible. The first 4 tracks are just wow. I'm going, wow, this is going to be my album of the month. And then Mad Witches kicks in with 9 minutes, and then it carries on. It turns into this symphonic kind of prog rock almost stuff, which is a shame. And I think there's one track where he's a lot of it is on the piano. I can't remember what it's called, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful, but it goes on for like 10 minutes, and it's just like, and you just end up switching off. I mean, and if you are a type of person who will sit there and just immerse yourself of which there are many people out there because of that prog rock genre, which would kind of go, well, I'm just going to sit here and immerse myself into this world and into this universe, and it's very, very good. And then there's some tracks that are a bit shorter, and it brings you back a little bit. But whereas I think for me is I would listen to the first 4 tracks on repeat and think, my God, that's brilliant. And I think it was somebody said there's too many opportunities to end up skipping and absolutely, and you're right. You go, I don't want to sit here for 18 minutes and listen to that. And so there's too many opportunities. And it's a shame because the production and the deliverance and the musicality is just off the charts. It's absolutely phenomenally good. It just drags on too long. So I think my rating reflects that in my appreciation of the actual album itself and my enjoyment of listening to it. But unfortunately, it's not an album that I would have on repeat. I would just select lots of different albums. But I have to say the musicianship, the performances, the singing, everything on there is top notch. Just dial it back. If you want to do an 18-minute track, do part 1, part 2, part 3. Break it up for the people. I saw recently a band did that, and it really, really worked because each section of the song was a bit different, and so could stand out in its own entirety. But if you want to tell that story, then maybe split it up. I don't know. I just for me, 18 minutes, even 7 minutes is too long for me. But yeah, it's a shame because I thoroughly enjoyed. There's part of this where I thoroughly enjoyed it, where I thought it was exceptional, absolutely exceptional. Right, okay. Will it get to a Hall of Fame, or will it not? I fancy, let's be honest about it. It's going to be a.
This was definitely the hardest album to vote on.
Yeah,
I think this.
I think so. I think so as well. But again,
it could have gone either way.
I think it's down to our listening pleasure, isn't it? And that's the problem. Paul, let's start with you then.
I give this a 2.5.
A lot of 2.5s this month, isn't it, really? Andy?
I gave it a 3.
Lauren?
2.5.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm with Paul and Lauren, 2.5 as well.
Trish?
I gave it a 4.
You know what, Trish? I'm throwing my 4 in with you as well. So, yeah. And at one point, I'm going, this is 5 all day long for the first 4. But anyway, do you know what, Paul? You have not had a 2-point. You've not had a score removed all month. All the albums, Paul. We've not reviewed. We've not scrapped any of your scores, which would be incredible if that was to continue. And you currently have a 2.5 with Lauren and with Cully. Nah, I'm not letting that happen. Paul, your 2.5 is gone. We chuck it out the window. That's not happening. That's not happening in my watch.
In this case, I'm perfectly happy with it.
Well. Okay. They scored. It scored 3.2, so it's not well. It beats Speaker Wars, but there we go. And that's our 349th album of all time, and 74th for the year. So it's not going to get to album of the year show, but I think there's some. It's unusual, isn't it, when an album scores okay, but there's also a lot of appreciation for it in the room in that respect. Just for us, it's just too long. I don't mind an hour and bit album if it's got 14 tracks and they're all 3 minutes long, but there we go. Right, okay, do you agree? Do you disagree, my wonderful listeners? Hit the like and subscribe button and let me know what you think, or even leave a comment below. Thank you very much to my wonderful panel today and for the month, which is Paul, Trish, Chris, Andy and Lauren. Thank you very much, guys. Keep on rocking and ciao for now.
Bye.